happening? Welcome, it's the Slick Pastor here. Please, if you're new here, make sure that you press the subscribe button and you also click the notification bell so that you get notified every time I create and post new content so that you can be the first one to watch it. Okay, so let's get into it. So today I want to talk about how the internet can kill you, how the internet is actually killing some people. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. So let's get into it, right? So I know a lot of us, we find so many benefits of the internet. I mean, all of us. Dissemination of information, research, entertainment, keeping families connected together, sustaining long distance relationships. Imagine, I don't know how people used to manage long distance relationships just based on letters, man. It was really hard because you don't get an update to see how your partner is looking. Maybe they're not as pretty as you want, or they're not as pretty as when you last saw them. But thanks to the internet, you always have a constant update. You can video call, you can send pictures, and your partner can always see you, etc., etc. But anyway, I don't want to focus on relationships and stuff. But generally, the internet has been so useful to us in so many ways, in the medical field, in sports, in entertainment, in school, even in churches, and even in the faith. Like during this time of lockdowns going on all over the world, churches still have managed to share the word of God, to meet and to fellowship online, to encourage each other and to edify one another in the faith, which is a good thing. But now, there are also some potential dangers associated with the internet. So I'm not one who believes in if we're having a challenge with something, let's do away with it. Stay away from the TV, stay away from the internet, stay away from school because, stay away from the streets because, no. But I believe in practicing wisdom and teaching and training yourself how to navigate wisely through the streets of life, so that at the end of the day, you still maintain your sanity and you're still able to come out a winner. So let's get into it. One of the ways in which the internet has been really detrimental to people's psychological and mental and emotional well-being is through comparison. I know a lot of us know the saying that says comparison is the thief of joy. You know, in life generally, you tend to lose satisfaction, you tend to lose fulfillment, you tend to lose your appreciation of self when you focus too much on what's happening in someone else's life. Somebody said, don't let your meal run cold because you're staring in what is in someone else's plate. Now, I know that sometimes when we are told to mind our own business, to focus on our lives, we try to do this. But the reason why it's really hard nowadays, part of the reason is because of the internet, particularly social media. Talk about Facebook and Instagram. You're minding your business, you open the app, you're just scrolling, and then boom, wow, this guy's graduated. Oh, they've got a baby now. They recently got married. They're on vacation in Hawaii. Oh, his business is doing well, etc., etc., etc. And all this good news coming from different angles and different people, and all your classmates and your edge mates that you grew up with seems to eventually kind of weigh you down. Listen, I'm not talking about being jealous here, but it is a natural human response to always try to evaluate yourself, sometimes based on what somebody else is doing, which is something that you have to contain and something that you have to master. But here's something that you really have to remember. The internet, social media, Instagram, Facebook, you should know that people do not tell their whole story. I'm not saying they're lying when they post that they are in a relationship or they're happy in that relationship. It is not a lie in some cases, but sometimes it is not the complete truth. What am I saying? I'm saying people on social media will always portray themselves as how they'll want to be viewed. There is nobody who would want anyone to look at them as a loser. So, if I'm losing, I am posting any of my losing evidence online. If I had an F in my exam, I'm not posting that. But the day I graduate, I'm gonna say that. If I got fired from work, I'm likely not gonna tell you about it. But when I get promoted, I'm gonna go there. So, life is a bit superficial on social media. Life is unbalanced because people are there to create an image and to portray an identity and an image in which you want them to view you. So don't get overly worked over how somebody seems to be doing well. Some people are actually doing well. whether on or off social media, and it shouldn't bother you. You should train yourself to focus on yourself. But still, even when you get distracted and lost in other people's achievements, in other people's accomplishments, in other people's stories and what they are telling you and the amazing things that may be happening in their lives, just remember that this is not the entire story. You hardly ever meet any real people on social media because people are never going to be sharing their low moments. People are never going to be sharing their struggles. People are never going to be sharing their L's and their losses and their defeats and their failures. So take heart. We are all human beings. We are all struggling through this thing called life, winning whenever we can, and just doing our best to make ends meet and to go through the day. So don't bother yourself. Number 2 reason why sometimes social media can really be harmful to people is there is a lack of filtering of information. Okay, so picture this, maybe 20 or 30 years ago, when you would go out of your house, you're going to work, the number of people that you interact with on a daily basis were limited probably to the person who you are boarding the bus with on your way to work, the people that you work with, interact with during lunch, and then the people that you meet on your way back home, and then your family. Now, when you look at this circle and when you look at these lines, that means on a day you probably interact with 20 to 30 people, sometimes even fewer than that, because your interactions are limited to the physical interactions that you have managed to have during the whole day, which also means the number of opinions that you're able to hear from another party, from somebody else, are limited to the people which you have actually physically met. You would never know what I think about, let's say, a political party. You would never know what I think about a certain faith subject. You would never know what I think about a certain celebrity unless you sit down with me somewhere. Fast forward to today. You don't necessarily have to see me face to face to know what I think about a certain situation that's going on. Because for as long as we are friends on Facebook, for as long as you follow me on Twitter, when I post it, it's going to be presented to you. So that means in the current context, in the current world that we're living in, your mind is exposed to thousands of opinions in a single day. So this almost equals you waking up and meeting 1,000 people throughout the entire day, and they're bombarding your mind with what they think about everything and anything. So this is where we have to be really, really careful when you follow someone. That's why I thank God that these social media platforms have options like mute, block, and restrict, and unfollow, and stuff like that. Because sometimes you realize, wow, this person is always so negative. They're always posting about the next great economic depression. They're always posting about the stats of how the virus is killing people. They're always, some of it may be true, some of it may be not, but they always make sure that they're posting bad news. So why should I entertain them? But some of us, a lot of us actually, do not pay any attention or any mind to these things, and we just go on about our business. We like every page that is suggested to us, we accept every friend request, and we take in all of this information. And by the end of the day, you are wondering why this generation is sometimes so depressed, so anxious, so fearful, so bitter, and so worried about the future and so afraid, because you have been entertaining countless and countless of negative opinions and negative thoughts from random strangers that you've never met and probably will never ever meet in your entire life. So what am I saying on this point? I am saying it is very, very important for you to be able to filter the information that you allow into your system. Because basically anybody that you are entertaining, everyone that you are giving room and access to speak to you, whether through a text or a video or an audio, you are giving them access into your brain. You are giving them the ability and the privilege to contribute to how your mental well-being functions. So you really have to be careful about the kind of information that you let get into your mind. The final point that I'd like to talk about is trolls. Yeah, trolls. You know, trolls are everywhere. Everywhere you go, there are people who are just there to bring other people down. And I'm not talking about constructive criticism. I'm not talking about somebody coming on this video and saying, well, this video is not so good because you left out point A, B, C, and D. Or this video is nice, but could you please improve on the lighting? Could you make it shorter? Could you... No, I'm not talking about such people. I'm talking about people who come out straight at you and they are always negative and they are attacking things about you that are sometimes even personal or even very, very sensitive. People who come and call you fat. People who come and call you unlearned. People who come and call you stupid and broke. People who attack you left, right, and center, and they'll even go for your family, because now our information is all online. Pictures of your babies are all online. Pictures of your wedding, your house, and stuff like that. So people can come and attack you. So trolling is something that's really, really serious. And from my little research that I've done, I've realized that most of the trolling happens on Twitter. Correct me if I'm wrong. I would really appreciate that in the comment section. But I've noticed that a lot of people who say negative things, who are, free to say something negative about someone, or spend the whole day talking negatively about someone, usually that kind of activity and behavior is found on Twitter. And I try to, really reason and to see what the logic could be. And I discovered that the way Twitter is set up, it doesn't require... Twitter is almost like a high, it's like a low-level ghost platform, in the sense that when you're signing up for Twitter, usually all that there is to fill in is your date of birth, and maybe your location, and maybe your phone number. Not much is required, and there isn't much posting of pictures and family and stuff like that. So basically people who exist there are just accounts that are usually, you don't really know much about that person. You cannot even click on someone's profile and be able to know where they stay, what they did last night, or their family, or where they schooled and stuff like that. Or on the other hand, on Facebook, there's a lot of information which is up to you to fill in or not, but usually the norm is that people fill in all these details of where they schooled or where they work. So people there are actually better represented. So you actually know the person who's talking, you can know where they're coming from, you know where they stay. So people are a bit preserved with their comments there because they know that these are things that I would not be able to say in person. But on other accounts, people just say whatever they want to say because they know they cannot be attacked, they know they cannot be held accountable. So trolling is something that you have to be really careful about. So someone once asked me a question, they say, how do you handle negative comments? How do you handle people who troll you? How do you handle criticism and people who attack you? Let's say you've created something, you've made a video and you post it online, and then somebody comes and says this is rubbish, or you're not good, or you're not funny, or whatever. How do you deal with that? Now, it's not really a social media thing of how do I deal with that, but it's a personal, practical lifestyle approach of how do I generally deal with people's opinions, whether good or bad. So personally for me, and I would like to encourage this for you, and I hope it works for you, you have to be a really self-aware person. So when you are self-aware, the thing is, you know yourself totally and you know yourself completely. You know your flaws and you know your strengths. And I've already embraced and confronted the things that may be flaws about me or weaknesses about me. And I've already acknowledged and celebrated the things that are strengths about me. So I know what I'm good at, and I know the things that I suck at. I know the parts about me that I like and that are likable, and I know the parts about me that may not be likable or even may actually be laughable. So because I've confronted these issues to myself already, I have attacked myself already over these issues. When somebody comes and they tell me that, oh, you're not funny, but because intrinsically, deep down inside of me, I really believe that I am funny. It will not matter what somebody else thinks, because I will know that this person's opinion may be driven by hate, may be driven by jealousy, may be driven by, well, it may actually be honestly a sense of truth, but it will not be truth to me, it will not be truth in my context, because I really believe this about me, that I am funny. So you have to be self-aware. And if somebody comes and they attack you for a weakness or a flaw or a shortcoming, that you yourself have already looked into and you have acknowledged and accepted and confronted and dealt with it, it won't pain you. But usually we find pain in things that we know about ourselves but are usually not bold enough to confront, to accept, and to deal with. So they remain fresh wounds. So when somebody comes and they attack you, you feel the pain because you've never attacked yourself over these issues, so you remain vulnerable. So one of the ways, I mean, this is not going to keep people from coming at you, but this is probably going to help you deal with how people attack you and how people think about you and what people say over you. So guys, I could go on and on and on, but the whole drive of this video was to try and encourage everybody who's watching to use the internet more carefully and more fruitfully. I mean, there's a lot of positive, good things that you can actually use the internet for, social media for. Some people are making money, some people are getting endorsements, some people use it to connect, to share positive messages and stuff like that. So you do not want to be remembered as somebody who left prints and marks of cruelty and hate and jealousy and bitterness and unending criticism, etc., on these internet, social media streets. Use the internet carefully and it will benefit you. But if you use it ignorantly, it's gonna kill you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe. I'm done.